as we're going to have the Usos challenging Beauty and the Man Beast for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships. Can the Usos bring the blue titles back on their waist? I mean, the Usos are former Raw Tag Team Champions. They are former World Tag Team Champions. The Usos have been very successful as a tag team. Beauty and the Man Beast, they're pretty much in the beginning of their first ever title reign as tag team champions on Smackdown. So I don't know if they could pretty much last this challenge. This is gonna be one of the hardest challenges ever for Beauty and the Man Beast, in my opinion. There's a lot of tag teams on SmackDown with a lot of potential going on. We have American Alpha, we have the Hype Bros, the Usos, Beauty and the Man Beast, the Vaudevillains. So many people that could probably revolutionize the tag team era. And we also have some great tag teams on Raw, and Gallows and Anderson, Enzo and Cass, the New Day, Cesaro and Sheamus. We have a lot going on in the tag team division. So this right here is a tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It's going to be the Usos versus Beauty and the Man Beast. Now, a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown Live, the Usos were able to get a 2-on-2 victory in an elimination tag match against Beauty and the Man Beast. Thus why they have this championship match right now. And also the Usos were trying to gain some momentum in a match against the Headbangers, and they were able to defeat the Headbangers in absolute ease. So the Usos are coming into this match with probably a lot of favoritism from the crowd. I mean, they're my favorites to win this match. I don't know if the Beauty and the Man Beast could last the onslaught of the Usos. They're just on fire right now. The Usos are pretty much having a career redemption, getting signed to SmackDown, and now they're gonna have a chance to face Beauty and the Man Beast for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in their first go. So the Usos are looking pretty good on the blue brand, but Beauty and the Man Beast said they will not. You cannot count them out. They're a pretty tough tag team. They will sneak up on you, and you just have to watch out. As here comes Heath, Slater, and Rhyno, as they look ready. They look very focused on probably putting the Usos away. As Rhyno has been the big difference maker in this team, because Heath Slater, we already know how Heath Slater's career was as a singles competitor. He was just absolute trash. So now with Rhyno on his side, Heath Slater has an actual chance of becoming something here on SmackDown. So without further ado, we're going to kick off this tag team championship match. So we're going to see if maybe the Usos could take the titles off Beauty and the Man Beast, because we saw before that Gallows and Anderson had a failed attempt at the Raw Tag Team Championships. So we're going to see if the Usos could probably break the curse. So, of course, we only had one championship change hands thus far, and that was the Intercontinental Championship, as Baron Corbin pretty much dominated Dolph Ziggler, in my opinion, because Ziggler had barely any offense in that match. He was able to hit that Famouser, but Baron Corbin hit that End of Days for the third time on Ziggler, and that spelled the end. So Slater and Rhyno just looking straight across at the Usos. They know how dangerous Jimmy and Jay Uso are when they're on the same page, and the Usos are always on the same page. So I don't think I mentioned this to you guys, but this is an Extreme Rules tag team match. I had to add that stipulation in because this is Extreme Rules, so you cannot have Extreme Rules without an Extreme Rules Tornado tag team match. So on the other side, I believe that was Jimmy Uso with that monkey flip on Rhyno. Jay Uso was on the other side dealing with Heath Slater. So I'm expecting an absolute brawl between these two teams. They're going to give everything they have to win the championships. This is Slater and Rhyno's first title defense. Slater was kind of just waiting on the apron to get speared, but he was able to get back in the ring before Jay Uso was able to do that. So nice Michinoku driver there by Jay Uso, as Rhyno's on the other side just brutalizing Jimmy Uso, and that is exactly what I'm saying. Rhyno is the veteran. He is the Man Beast, and having somebody like Rhyno on your team is definitely an advantage, because that gore could come out of nowhere. He could just he could just spear your abdomen in 2 pieces, and that right there will cut the air out of your lungs, and you will not be able to kick out. Kind of just like Paige a little bit earlier in her match with Charlotte, and now it looks like Jimmy Uso's looking for the toys as Rhyno drops Jimmy Uso right on the mat with a bulldog, and now Slater with a gut buster to Jey Uso in the ring. As the Usos are not looking so good right now. Beauty and the Man Beast with the advantage in this match so far. Slater climbs to the top rope, as now you can see Jimmy Uso was attempted at Samoan drop, but not happening. The Usos now may have been underestimating Beauty and the Man Beast a little bit going into this match, because obviously you would think that the Usos are the better tag team going into this match, but like I said, you can never underestimate the champions. Slater and Rhyno are the champions for a reason. So you have to take this seriously, because if not, Slater and Rhyno, they're both really good at pulling upsets in the match. They will end the match like nothing. And there goes Slater with an attempted pin on Jey Uso, but Jey Uso still alive. And that was a belly to back mat slam on Jimmy Uso by Rhyno, and I think it's going to be time for them to trade opponents, because Rhyno has just had enough of picking apart Jimmy Uso, but Slater says no, he wants to stay on Jey Uso. He has a personal vendetta against Jey Uso. Slater rubbing that boot across the face of Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso, of course, is getting clotheslined by Rhyno. So I would honestly say that Beauty and the Man Beast have been the featured tag team. They have been the better featured tag team as opposed to the Raw Tag Team Champions, the New Day. We haven't really seen too much from the New Day. We know the New Day has been getting victories on the red brand, but we have barely seen them in action. It's now Rhyno planning to gore. I think that's Jimmy Uso, but Jey Uso getting involved, making sure that didn't happen. Stopping Rhyno right in his tracks, and I don't know where Jey Uso is planning on going with Heath Slater. As now both men going to the top rope, as Rhyno's going to go for a back suplex, as Jey Uso goes for the Samoan drop from the top. Both members of their respective tag teams just getting brutalized. Rhyno beating the living hell out of Jimmy Uso. And that right there was an impaler DDT by Heath Slater to get him off of him. And now Rhyno grabbing Jimmy Uso, tossing him into the tightrope, and Slater with a forearm smash to Jimmy Uso. Well, both of these members just completely neglecting Jey Uso, as they feel Jey Uso was out of it. He got hit with that impaler DDT hard. He hasn't moved that much since. Jey Uso to one knee now, and now look at Slater going for the cover, but Jey Uso able to break that up. What were you thinking, Slater? Jey Uso was right there. You didn't think he was going to break that cover up? Knee to the lower lumbar region of Jimmy Uso, and now Rhyno with the cover on Jey. And now Rhyno almost finishing off Jey Uso. Beauty and the Man Beast looking very good in this Extreme Rules Tag Team Tornado match. And oh wow, I believe Jimmy Uso was planning on, Jey Uso was planning on lighting Rhyno up with that kick, and now Jimmy Uso out of nowhere with the neck breaker. I don't even know how people keep up with these Usos, because they just look so alike. I'm trying to pick them apart by their tattoos, because their tattoos are definitely different, but it's really hard to pay attention to sometimes. But I believe that is Jimmy Uso. I'm battling out with Rhyno, and Jey Uso just nailed the super kick on Slater. That right there may be some bad news for Heath. Is Jey Uso now trying to pick up the pieces, as he's been hit with some hard shots, as Jimmy Uso moving out of the way of Rhyno. Jimmy Uso has got the worst of this exchange. Butterfly suplex there by Jey Uso. Rhyno with a clubbing blow to the back of the head of Jimmy Uso. And now Jey may be going for that splash. And there you go. We may have new tag team champions. Rhyno going for the cover. Oh, wow. It's Jey Uso realizing that Rhyno was pinning Jimmy Uso, so he did not continue that pinfall as the referee was distracted. And now there goes a playmaker looking move on Jey Uso. Here goes Slater with the cover. It's crazy. We have not seen any toys introduced in this match. It's just been straight brutality from the champions and the challengers. As now Slater and Rhyno look like they're going to trade opponents yet again. But Jimmy Uso, in the predicament that his brother was in a couple of minutes ago, just not able to get to his feet. And now Jey Uso getting whipped into the corner by Heath Slater. Slater going for that forearm smash, but not connecting with anything. Now Jimmy Uso going to try to pick up the pieces of the fallen Rhyno. Jimmy Uso's had a hard time keeping Rhyno down. But now Slater looks like he's probably going to go for a superplex. Wow. The Usos are in one bad predicament right now, as both brothers of the Usos just getting brutalized by the champions. And right there, the hashtag I got kids just planting Jey Uso on the ground. And there goes a gore by Rhyno. That right there may spell the end for the Usos. But they're not going for the cover though. The champions are just staring at the Usos. They don't know who to go after. Rhyno could have easily went for the cover there on Jimmy Uso, but he just ignored it. That right there may have cost the Rhyno and Slater the tag team championships. And now there goes a cover there by Rhyno on Jey Uso after that clubbing clothesline, a kick out, and nice inverted suplex there by Slater. I'm very impressed with Beauty and the Man Beast. They're doing absolutely phenomenal in this match. And it doesn't seem like the Usos have really much of a counter to attack Beauty and the Man Beast with. And now, oh, wait a minute. There goes some of the toys. As I believe that was Jimmy Uso who just took out that ladder on the outside. Is now a takedown there by Jimmy Uso to Slater. Heath Slater may be in trouble now as the Usos now grabbing everything they can. Jimmy Uso grabbing a chair, and now Rhyno wrenching that neck of Jey Uso in the ring. Rhyno now needs to hit something good. And where's Rhyno going? Beauty and the Man Beast just keep neglecting the other Uso, and that right there is costing them. And now, nice belly to back suplex there by Rhyno. He needs to go for the cover here, but Jey Uso says not today. Jey Uso now, it has Rhyno up. Samoan dropping, bound, and down goes Rhyno as Jimmy Uso gets tossed back into the ring by Heath Slater. Jey Uso now trying to get himself riled up as Slater too busy getting the crowd riled up. He's not noticing what's going on right now. Rhyno may be in trouble. Takedown there by Jey Uso. Jey Uso has probably been the better Uso in this match as he's been trying to keep the offense going for his team, but you can only do so much when you're on your own as Rhyno goes for the cover on Jey Uso, and Jey Uso kicks out at 2 with ease. And there goes that impaler on Jimmy. This may be it for Jimmy Uso. Slater needs to go for the cover, but again, neglecting Jimmy Uso. Beauty and the Man Beast could have had this match many times, but they just keep neglecting the Uso that just got finished. And now stomping a mud hole on Jey, and Jimmy with a Russian leg sweep. So many mistakes by Beauty and the Man Beast, and that right there is just showing the immaturity, I guess, and maybe the lack of wisdom. There you go. The lack of wisdom that this team has. They just keep letting the Usos get up after the... And there goes a gore by Rhyno. Rhyno better go for the cover here. He needs to go for the cover, but after he gores, he's always confused on who to cover. Come on, Rhyno. Go for the cover. But no, instead, he feels like helping out Heath Slater attack Jimmy Uso. My God, Beauty and the Man Beast, you're killing me, man. This match could have been over so many times in this match, but you just keep going for whatever you want. And now Slater measuring Jimmy Uso, and here you go, inverted DDT, and that right there may be it. Slater needs to go for the cover, and this right here, Beauty and the Man Beast may just defend their championships after that move by Slater, and Slater and Rhyno successfully defend their championships in an Extreme Rules Tornado Tag match. I believe that the Usos were going to capitalize on those mistakes from Beauty and the Man Beast. They were just not thinking at all in this match. But luckily, Heath Slater was able to capitalize on the Usos' mistakes right there, hitting that inverted DDT. And this right here was the end. Hashtag I got kids. Driving down Jimmy Uso. And Beauty and the Man Beast successfully defends the Smackdown Tag Team Championships. Well, there you have it, guys. Slater and Rhyno increase their reign just a little bit longer as SmackDown Tag Team Champions here on the Blue brand. So who will be the next team to step up to Beauty and the Man Beast, as now you know that they mean business. We're going to continue with this card as Extreme Rules goes on. Congratulations, to the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Heath, Slater, and Rhyno.